Ford. The car maker cautioned that full-year earnings will be at the low end of the forecast.
Ford and Toyota just shook up the car industry. Dealerships will be shut down. You might be thinking, isn't this a risky move? Trust me, I had the same thought, but after digging deeper into the situation, it becomes clear that these automotive giants are not acting impulsively. So what are their motivations? How does it affect you and the industry in general? What's in it for us? And what the heck is actually happening? Well, for decades now, the process of buying a car has been a well-worn journey. Picture this: manufacturers construct vehicles, load them onto trucks, and ship them off to local dealerships. Then you, the consumer, walk into those showrooms and make your purchases. There was a certain charm, a warm, personal touch that created a memorable experience. But let's face it, in recent years, that charm has faded, and the process has become increasingly polluted with frustration. Thankfully, that is about to change. Now, here's where it gets interesting. The automotive industry is witnessing a seismic shift, and two titans of the industry, Ford and Toyota, are at the forefront of this revolution. They are making waves by venturing into a direct-to-consumer sales model, completely bypassing the traditional dealerships that have dominated car sales for over 100 years. What's the benefit for you? By embracing this direct-to-consumer approach, Ford and Toyota are on a mission to create a buying experience that's not only more efficient but also clearer and more focused on you, the customer. The days of wandering through a labyrinthine dealership and haggling over prices are numbered. Instead, these auto pioneers are responding to the shifting needs and desires of today's consumers, who want a smoother, digital-first way to buy their next vehicle. Picture this: you could custom order your dream car with just a few clicks on your smartphone or laptop, complete with all the features you want, without ever stepping foot inside a dusty showroom. And here's the kicker: you'll have the full backing and expertise of the manufacturer guiding you, ensuring a seamless and hassle-free transaction. How awesome does that sound? But let's not kid ourselves. The motivations behind this shift go far beyond merely making our lives easier. There are some deeper, three complex reasons swirling beneath the surface. And now, I can almost hear your thoughts. We've gotten used to seamless, tailored experiences in every industry. Bingo, that's a big part of why they are making this move. And that is true, but that is only the first part. Let's not beat around the bush. The traditional car buying process has often been a hassle, rife with long negotiations, confusing pricing structures, and the weight of high-pressure sales tactics pressing down on us. However, the reasons behind these corporate decisions are, as always, a bit more intricate. If you truly want to understand their intentions and how this will impact you, you need to look a little closer at the details. Absolutely. With this direct-to-consumer approach, Ford and Toyota aim to provide an experience that's not just transparent and efficient, but also genuinely enjoyable. You won't be dealing with the traditional dealership middleman anymore. Instead, it's just you, the company, and the car of your dreams staring at each other. Sounds pretty fantastic, right? However, the most significant reason behind this entire strategic shift is manufacturers' desire for greater control over the sales process. Let's get real for a moment. In the old dealership model, companies like Ford and Toyota had a limited grip on how their products were shown and sold to you, the consumer. This lack of influence could result in a mixed bag of brand representation and uneven customer experiences across different dealerships. But this newfound control reaches far beyond just the initial sale. It gives these automakers the ability to manage the entire customer journey more effectively, from that first moment of interest all the way through purchasing, ownership, and even the ultimate repurchase down the line. But enough about this, let's dive into the second reason, because we are just barely scratching the surface here. Big data. Feeling like just another faceless number in a vast database is the worst, isn't it? Well, I've got some exciting news. The opportunity to capture essential, up-to-the-minute insights straight from your customers is something no savvy business can afford to overlook. In our ultra-connected digital world, data has become the new oil, and this isn't just an overused catchphrase. By engaging directly with customers throughout the sales process and beyond, industry giants like Ford and Toyota are on the cusp of amassing an impressive trove of first-party data. Just imagine the transformative potential of the information they'll gather on how customers configure their dream vehicles online. This could revolutionize future product development in ways you've never even dreamed of. And by closely studying browsing habits and purchase patterns, they can fine-tune their digital sales funnels to perfection. But wait, there's more. That post-purchase data on how consumers use their vehicles and their overall satisfaction levels. Pure gold. This intel could influence everything from innovative design features to laser-focused marketing campaigns. The possibilities for groundbreaking insights are truly jaw-dropping. Now let's cut to the chase. The last and real motivator behind all this? Yep, you guessed it, cash flow. Let's break that down. Cutting the excess. Recently, Jim Farley, the CEO of Ford, dropped a revelation that shook the industry. It cost Ford around $2,000 more to stick with the old-fashioned dealership model compared to Tesla's slick dealership-free system. Can you believe it? A whopping 2/3 of those costs just vanish into thin air on advertising and keeping cars sitting pretty on lots, like paying for car sun tanning. Wait for it. The real kicker is that Ford's latest treasures, the Mustang Mach-E and F-150 Lightning, have sold like hotcakes, but not because of extensive advertising. Happy customers, they turn out to be more effective than flashy commercials at making sales. But there's a twist. Many dealerships report that the inventory of these models is piling up way more than actually selling, with supply outstripping demand. Why? Because a whole lot of electric vehicle buyers are ditching the dealership experience and going straight online. Ford is itching to relive those electrifying initial sales numbers without facing a shortage when that next wave of demand hits. Instead of slowing down, Ford is ramping up its electric vehicle momentum. They're pouring money into production and aiming to triple their output, but this also means bigger and bigger piles of vehicles just sitting at dealerships one more time. Some dealers are even saying no thanks to new allocations. Talk about a frustrating cycle. The traditional dealership model is not just a simple setup. It's loaded with substantial costs. Real estate, managing inventory, staff salaries, you name it. These expenses end up hitting consumers directly in their wallets. By ditching this middleman, Ford and Toyota can significantly trim their distribution costs. Picture the good that could come from these savings. They could either pass them on to us as lower prices, helping increase their market share, or they could reinvest in research and development to speed up innovations in electric vehicles and self-driving technology. Heck, they might even boost profits, which would surely make shareholders a lot happier. Now, let's be real. While the potential for savings is enormous, unlocking those savings means making upfront investments in digital infrastructure, strong logistics networks, and top-notch customer service. But over time, these investments could yield fantastic rewards. Plus, embracing a direct-to-consumer model would drastically improve inventory management efficiency. No more cars parked idly, mismatched with local buyers' interests. Instead, we could see a cool build-to-order setup, drastically reducing costs and allowing for even more personalization options. Yet, transitioning to this system is no walk in the park. Ripping apart the dealership network, the industry's backbone for decades, presents a whole host of legal and operational challenges. Ford and Toyota will have to navigate this complicated terrain with care and strategy, navigating the challenges ahead. And when it comes to redefining what dealerships mean in this new landscape, it won't be a simple task. A carefully crafted, phased approach is necessary to strike a balance between forging a fresh sales path and keeping the goodwill of long-standing partners. If they misstep, they could find themselves facing distribution hurdles, legal battles, and loyal customers feeling abandoned. And that's not all. The repercussions extend far beyond just Ford and Toyota. The shift away from dealerships could significantly impact local economies that have traditionally relied on these businesses as major employers and contributors to taxes. It's a delicate dance, making sure they comprehend the wider societal impact of their moves. These automotive giants must navigate a tangled web of legal, operational, and social factors. The road ahead will definitely have its share of bumps, but with a keen strategy and unwavering determination, Ford and Toyota can provide a fresh take on how cars are sold and serviced. One big hurdle on the horizon is the required investment in solid digital infrastructure and customer service skills. They need to create user-friendly platforms, embed smart data analysis, and set up efficient logistics, all pivotal tasks. Keeping the customer experience smooth and engaging from research through to ownership is essential. Inventory management also plays a crucial role here. In the traditional car buying setup, vehicles can be seen and driven off lots almost immediately. When shifting to a direct-to-consumer model, shoppers may have to wait longer for that same experience, potentially complicating things for the customer. Solutions like virtual test drives and swift delivery logistics will be key in preventing frustrations. Let's not forget after-sales support either, something dealerships have long handled. With the local face of service disappearing, Ford and Toyota must come up with solid plans to take care of customer needs. This could involve mobile service options, collaborations with third parties, or setting up strategic service centers. There's also the tricky legal landscape they must traverse. Many states have laws and regulations in place defending the traditional dealership model, making moving to a direct-to-consumer model a complex and potentially heated battle. They need to scrutinize the legal aspects in each area and work alongside policymakers to ensure compliance and make the most of their fresh sales strategies. So as these industry behemoths embark on this transformative journey, the entire automotive sector stands ready to observe. Valuable lessons awaiting to be gleaned could profoundly influence the tactics of other car manufacturers contemplating a similar pivot. This move isn't just a shot in the dark, it could ultimately reshape the industry as we understand it. Mistakes and lessons. Now it is no secret that this method has taken the automotive world by storm, proving itself to be a resounding success. It allows Tesla to offer customers consistent pricing, eliminate delays, and ensure an overall positive buying experience. Notably, Tesla didn't have an easy ride. The company endured numerous formidable challenges while forging this new path, but their model emerged as a shining example and has inspired other major car manufacturers, like Toyota, to follow in their footsteps. Seeing the clear advantages of Tesla's direct sales strategy, Toyota decided to step up to the plate. They launched their innovative SmartPath retail experience, aiming to meet the growing demand for seamless digital transactions. This push became even more critical in the wake of the COVID-19 pandemic, which transformed consumer habits overnight. With SmartPath, customers could kickstart their car buying journey entirely online. They had the option to save their progress in a personalized digital garage, and from there, they could either continue their shopping online or wrap up the purchase at the dealership. This approach aimed to simplify and enhance the user experience across Toyota's website, dealership sites, and physical locations, creating a more cohesive system. However, let's not kid ourselves. Toyota's SmartPath program, despite its ambitious goals, fell short of its flashy promises. Sure, customers could browse at their leisure, build their dream cars, and even schedule deliveries right to their front doors. But lurking beneath this shiny exterior was an all-too-familiar issue: the dreaded dealer markups. Customers were not just looking for convenience, they were hungry for a real change, something that would finally resolve their long-held grievances. Unfortunately, Toyota's grand vision didn't unfold as planned, which led to the program being abruptly closed in the year 2022. Let's break it down a bit more. You see, merely creating a sleek online platform won't magically erase the long-standing issues that have frustrated car buyers for years. The SmartPath initiative introduced some handy conveniences, no doubt, but it missed the mark when it came to dealing with the real challenges. The persistent markups at dealerships continue to plague consumers, making comparison shopping seem like an exercise in futility. Just picture the letdown of a customer diligently researching and scouting prices at different dealerships, only to stumble upon that bothersome markup waiting at every turn. It's enough to make anyone nostalgic for the days of bargaining face to face, where the lines of battle were clear. Yet, here's the twist in the tale. Although many regarded the SmartPath program as a flop, it revealed some surprising insights. While it was easy to label it a failed endeavor on Toyota's part, there was more lurking beneath the surface. A major reason for the program's lack of success was that the dealerships themselves actively opposed it. Yes, you heard that right. Dealerships, much like any other business, are more focused on their profit margins than genuinely prioritizing customer satisfaction. Think about it. These dealerships rake in substantial cash not just from vehicle sales, but also from financing, insurance, and extended warranties. Sure, the vehicle markups bolster their financial standing, but it's those additional services where they really hit it big. As more and more customers began opting for online car purchases, essentially bypassing the dealership altogether, those middlemen started feeling increasingly threatened. This made Toyota's SmartPath initiative particularly interesting. It aimed to disrupt the existing norm by trying to cut dealerships out of the sale process, which inevitably led to less profit for them. Not surprisingly, the dealerships were less than thrilled about this shift. It's no shocker that the SmartPath program didn't take the world by storm. It laid bare the resistance the dealership industry has toward adopting digital solutions and modernizing the car buying experience. Toyota found itself in quite the pickle, caught between the desire to satisfy customers and the need to navigate the legal framework that held it in place. This predicament ultimately led Toyota to pull the plug on SmartPath and rethink their approach entirely. They're now in the process of creating a new initiative that grants them far greater control over every aspect of the process, from financing and insurance all the way to marketing and advertising. As a leading manufacturer, they've got the resources and expertise to tackle these challenges head on, especially given that Ford is making similar moves. But let's face it, progress is never a walk in the park. So, what's in the works? This time, they are not merely shifting gears, they are completely overhauling the transmission. Fixed pricing, you can definitely count on it. It seems they've taken inspiration straight from the no-nonsense playbook. Dealerships will receive a significant makeover, evolving into high-tech service hubs. Picture stepping into a Ford Center, not to squabble over price tags, but to get your ride fine-tuned while enjoying a latte. That sounds pretty great, right? Now, here's where things get even more compelling. Ford's CEO, Jim Farley, is fully committed to this digital transition. He's promoting 100% online transactions alongside direct deliveries. It's like having Amazon Prime, but for cars. Not only that, but he's also acknowledging Tesla and those trailblazing Chinese automakers for leading the charge. Interestingly, Ford is not merely trying to keep pace with Tesla. They are aiming for the front of the pack, with plans for reduced costs, a smoother buying experience, and that irresistible Tesla flair. Ford is cooking up something extraordinarily special, and the cherry on top, they're not leaving their dealers out in the cold. They're bringing them along for this exhilarating journey. It's akin to witnessing your favorite vintage car receive a cutting-edge makeover, and you can't help but feel that excitement bubbling beneath the surface. Now, you might think this is just too much trouble, but this is part of survival at this point because of one major thing. Let me explain. Price war. Tesla has kicked off a price war that's shaken up the entire automotive world, leaving traditional car makers like Ford scrambling to keep up. Early in 2023, Elon Musk rolled out an aggressive pricing strategy, chopping prices across Tesla's vehicle lineup with the goal of grabbing a larger slice of the market. This bold maneuver wasn't just a spur-of-the-moment decision, it was a shrewd attempt to cement Tesla's status as a leader in the electric vehicle arena. The ripple effects were immediate and significant, forcing competitors to make their own cuts, with serious implications across the industry. When Tesla slashed prices, the reductions were jaw-dropping. Take the Model Y, for example. Drivers saw savings of up to $13,000, with other models getting similar markdowns. These sweeping cuts were aimed at making Tesla's impressive lineup more accessible to everyone, especially as competition in the EV sector ramped up. The plan wasn't simply about holding on to market share, it was also about boosting sales volume. More sales mean Tesla can produce vehicles more efficiently, driving down production costs even further. Now, Ford found itself in a tight spot while trying to match Tesla's bold pricing. The company had to decrease prices on its Mustang Mach-E, one of its leading electric vehicles, by as much as $5,900 for some of its configurations. These cuts were meant to lure in more customers and help Ford stay competitive in an increasingly packed EV market, but they also pushed the company into a financial pit. Ford's EV arm, known as Model E, reported a whopping $700 million loss in the first quarter of 2023 alone. This stark figure reveals a bigger issue. Traditional automakers are struggling to make money as production costs climb and competitive prices become a must. While Tesla achieved an operating profit margin of 11.4% during the same time frame, Ford's Model E recorded a negative margin that was more than 100%. In other words, for every dollar earned from selling EVs, Ford ended up losing $1. The heart of Ford's problem lies in its cost structure. Unlike Tesla, which enjoys significant economies of scale and lower production costs due to streamlined operations, Ford grapples with higher costs for materials and manufacturing. Even though Ford is selling more EVs, such as the Mustang Mach-E and F-150 Lightning, each unit sold adds to its losses because of negative contribution margins. Essentially, Ford is attempting to gain market share, but at a steep price. Meanwhile, Ford's CEO Jim Farley has been trying to paint the Model E division as a tech startup that's all about innovation and software. But let's be real, this vision does little to ease the mounting financial losses. Back in 2022, Ford revealed a $2.1 billion loss for Model E, predicting that number would swell to $3 billion in 2023. The company is promising to turn things around, aiming for an 8% operating margin by 2027. Yet given the current market situation, reaching that target seems more challenging by the day. Farley has made efforts to shift toward electrification and and tech advancements, but these strategies require hefty investments. The continuous losses from Model E prompt serious questions about how long Ford can stay afloat while trying to innovate and compete with Tesla's stronghold. Tesla's price slashes have stirred a reaction throughout the entire automotive industry. Other car makers feel the heat, pressured to follow suit or risk losing market presence. However, many lack the financial cushion that Tesla possesses, resulting in a tricky balancing act between staying profitable and being competitive. General Motors and Volkswagen have indicated a plan to stick with their pricing despite Tesla's aggressive moves. However, this defiance might lead them into financial trouble if they can't pivot quickly. The fallout from this price war isn't just about short-term losses for Ford and the rest either. The impact. Experts are sounding the alarm about ongoing price wars in the electric vehicle market, warning that these battles could lead to some unsustainable practices across the industry. Imagine this: traditional automotive manufacturers are facing a real pickle. They may struggle to justify the hefty investments required for electric vehicle technology if they can't recoup those costs through actual sales. If this continues, we might see a significant slowdown in crucial developments around electrification and innovation, and that's a big deal for the industry as a whole. Now, let's throw the current economic landscape into the mix. Things just get trickier from here. With interest rates climbing higher and inflation pushing broad consumer interest in electric vehicles down, companies like Ford are finding it increasingly challenging to sell their vehicles at prices that make sense for buyers. It's a tough situation, as demand levels off but production costs keep going up. Automakers are definitely facing some serious challenges. This uphill struggle could influence their survival in the long run, and that's pretty concerning. In the middle of all these changes, consumers are shifting gears in their buying habits. Many buyers now seem more cautious, likely due to the overall economic uncertainty we're facing. This newfound caution means that when it's time for them to choose a new vehicle, they may focus more on price than on brand loyalty. Guess what? This shift in mindset plays right into Tesla's hands, as the company continues to offer tempting deals with lower prices that appeal directly to these cost-conscious consumers. Looking into the crystal ball, Ford's prospects seem to be getting cloudier as it maneuvers through this turbulent environment. The company has invested billions into its electric vehicle technology, but now the effectiveness and feasibility of those plans are under intense scrutiny, especially given the ongoing financial losses from the Model E segment. It's a precarious position for them. Analysts are speculating that if this price war doesn't cool down fairly soon, we could witness some automakers teetering on the brink of bankruptcy. Some may even be forced into mergers just to survive in an increasingly cutthroat market where profit margins are shrinking fast. The looming threat of consolidation is a heavy burden for an industry already grappling with significant transformations driven by technological advancements and evolving consumer preferences. On the flip side, we see Tesla capitalizing on its direct-to-consumer sales model, gaining the upper hand in this heated price contest. By steering clear of traditional dealerships, Tesla can implement bold pricing strategies that cut out middleman costs, slashing prices on popular models like the Model 3 by as much as 25%. This direct approach not only streamlines inventory management, meaning they can produce cars based on actual orders, but it also enhances the level of customization available to buyers. Plus, having direct access to consumer data enables Tesla to fine-tune its marketing strategies and product offerings like no one else. So companies like Ford need to adopt this method too. Thoughts on this? Let's know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next video.